Making world records is not an easy task and is not done every day. If we look back, winning major championships was the yardstick by which casual sports fans judged the greats. Masters 1000s, under various names over the decades, tournaments were nice, but they were not tabulated and analysed for a player's resume the way they are now. Superstars would be remembered if they set long-term major league records. The following is a list of unbreakable major title records in tennis that are important. We're not going to look at quarterfinal or semifinal streaks, but rather at the biggest final streaks and championships that have largely defined the players on this list. We'll not be counting games, sets, or other insignificant scoring streaks. We'll look at records that require several years of dominance, and the records which have not yet been broken. In this video, we'll look at 8 world records that are undoubtedly very hard to make and even harder to break. So, let's get started. Number 1. Winning 7 Wimbledon titles in 8 years. Pete Sampras was arguably the greatest grass court tennis player of all time. From 1993 to 2000, he was unquestionably the most dominant player at Wimbledon. He won 7 championships in 8 years. It's difficult to imagine another player accomplishing this feat in the near future. Pistol Pete dominated the field at a time when serve and volley tennis was being phased out in favour of faster, more skidding grass surfaces. His only blemish was a quarter-final loss to eventual champion Richard Krajicek in 1996, which he lost in straight sets due to delays over 2 days. Sampras explained his missed opportunity in the New York Times. "I missed a backhand, I guess by an inch or so. I felt like it was good, but the lady called it wide, and that was my one opportunity to even things up." Usually, Sampras dominated, but he also had the uncanny ability to win the pressure points when a match could turn quickly at Wimbledon. Sampras and Federer aside, it will be many years or decades, if ever, before someone else challenges this mark at Wimbledon. So far, the only other player to have come close to the record is Bjorn, who won 5 consecutive Wimbledon titles from 1976 to 1980. From 2003 to 2007, Roger Federer matched this streak. Had he not suffered an epic 2008 Wimbledon loss to Rafael Nadal, Federer would have won 7 straight titles by the time he defeated Andy Roddick in 2009. Number 2. 8 consecutive years in the US Open final. All tennis players and people who know about the game must agree that the US Open is the toughest venue to dominate. This championship is comparatively fast, and the hardcourt surface gives opportunities to all types of players. Unlike the more specialized French Open and Wimbledon, the US Open consistently features the deepest fields of competitors who can play spoiler in any given match. So it's unlikely that anyone will break Ivan Lendl's record of 8 consecutive years in the US Open final from 1982 to 1989. Lendl only won those titles in 1985 to 87, and anyone would rather have Sampras' 7 titles as noted in the previous slide. But it might be harder for anyone in the future to get to the US Open final 8 or 9 straight times. 8 straight final appearances at any major venue have not happened. Not even Rafael Nadal's dominance at the French Open. So it's particularly impressive that Lendl accomplished this at the US Open, where superstars are often more fatigued by the time the hot New York crowds and raucous fans join in to test their nerves. If we see if any other player has come closer to this brilliant record, then so far we just have Roger Federer, who made it to 6 consecutive US Open finals from the years 2004 to 2009. Number 3. Winning 9 French Open titles in 10 years. No wonder to guess the names of the players who made this record. Yes, it's Rafael Nadal, the GOAT of tennis history, made this unbelievable thing possible. This should not be possible in such a grueling major venue until the player has fresh legs and a ferocious defense-killing instinct. Nadal began his streak just as he turned 19 years old. Teenagers and players in their early 20s are virtually non-factors in major championships in today's ATP. Perhaps players will continue to improve into their 30s, but age and fatigue make it more difficult for one person to dominate Roland Garros. No other major venue, let alone Roland Garros, has seen a player win 9 titles in 10 years. Furthermore, as superstars like Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic have won or mounted serious challenges with their all-court abilities, being a clay court specialist may become increasingly rare. Another French Open record like Nadal's? Forget about it. And if Robert Soderling had not hit through Nadal at the 2009 French Open, A decade of unblemished dominance could have been the most unbreakable record by far. That would be incredible, right? Number 4. A deadly combination of 6 French Open titles and 5 Wimbledon titles. This amazing record is held by Bjorn Borg, who is the king of European majors, having won 11 titles between London and Paris by the age of just 25 years, which is unbelievable. It's extremely unlikely that anyone else will win 6 French Opens and 5 Wimbledon titles. Rafael Nadal's 11 European titles are more evenly distributed, with 9 French Open titles and 2 at Wimbledon. Borg, best known as a clay court king, worked hard to become a serviceable net player and hit baseline passing shots on grass. Number 5. Competing in 18 of 19 major titles. Surprise? No. Roger Federer's 17 major titles do not make the cut. Rafael Nadal or Novak Djokovic have a chance to catch him, and some other future dominant player will have an entire career to chase after 17. It will not be as easy, but it is doable. Other major records held by Federer would be more difficult to break. For example, he won 5 consecutive Wimbledon titles from 2003 to 2007, which overlapped with 5 consecutive US Open titles from 2004 to 2008. Whatever way you look at it, 4 straight years sweeping both titles from 2004 to 2007, or 10 majors in 12 years at 2 venues, is a nearly unrivaled accomplishment. We still went with Borg's 11 Channel Majors due to the higher surface contrast and an extra title. But the most remarkable record of all is Federer going to 18 major finals in 19 chances. That's right. From Wimbledon 2005 through Australia 2010, the Swiss maestro failed to reach a major final in only the 2008 Australian Open. It's even more astonishing when we sometimes think of 2008 as an off year, and we're not even looking at a 3-major year like 2004. Number 6. 237 weeks as world number 1. What would it feel like to be the number 1 player not just for a day or for a couple of weeks, but in fact 237 straight weeks? Unbeatable feeling, right? Well, there is just one player in the history of tennis who has enjoyed this position for this long. Roger Federer became world number 1 for the first time on February 2nd, 2004. He began an insane streak of holding that position for a record 237 weeks. In the process, he set an Open-era record for 3 consecutive seasons of wire-to-wire world number 1 finishes. In 2009 and 2012, he held the number 1 spot for 48 and 17 weeks respectively. In the twilight of his career, Federer worked his way back to the top of the rankings in 2018, a testament to his longevity. He became the Open era's oldest number 1 player at the age of 36. Federer is also the only player to have been ranked in the top 3 in 15 different seasons. Number 7. Fastest serve. Sam Groff's name may be unfamiliar to many, but the Australian, who's now retired, holds a tennis record that will not be broken anytime soon, if ever. Groff is credited with a serve that reached 163.4 miles per hour during a match in South Korea's Challenger tournament. Despite securing his place in tennis history, Groff was defeated in straight sets by Belarusian Vladimir Ignatic, 4-6, 3-6. Number 8. Most Grand Slam titles as a team. This record shows what a single cannot do but a team can. This record is held by the unbeatable duo of Martina Navratilova and Pam Shriver, who won 20 Grand Slams as double partners. Not only that, but they won 79 of 104 tournaments they competed in during their partnership, finishing with a 390-25 win-loss record. Incredible. So this was all from the video. I hope you all liked it. What are your thoughts, guys? Do you think these records will be broken real soon? Or is there no player right now who's capable of doing so? Tell us in the comments down below.